Hey, if you're new here but enjoying the content, join us. Subscribe now and ring that bell for notifications.
Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You're listening to Ethan Van Sciver, 26-year veteran of the comic book industry, world's most charming, eloquent, elegant, and yet, and also handsome, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan. All right, so we talked earlier in the day about the situation over at DC Comics. They are firing people. They're making kind of drastic changes. They're reshuffling things. They're restructuring their organization in order to be a little bit more lean and mean to deal with the coming times. And the times are not good. I've predicted already that the comic book industry has somewhere around 5 or 6 more years in order to continue to publish print. And from there, yeah, they can probably continue digital, but digital sales are a fraction of what print sales are at this point. I know it doesn't seem like that. I know it seems like, oh no, digital should completely take over because digital has taken over in every other respect. But the comic book industry is different. People like to collect them. They like to hold the magazines. There's something about the collectability and the nostalgia of collecting comic books that will never change. And certainly after the print medium is dead, they will go ahead and move on to they'll continue to publish digitally, but they will not be producing enough work to maintain a very strong creative workforce. Most people are going to go and have to find other things to do, and that is what's happening, and it's happening all around us. Now, in the meantime, those 5 or 6 years that the mainstream comic book industry has before another 400 or so comic book shops go out of business and thus put the mainstream comic book industry for the most part out of business, they need to make as much money as they can. They're trying to put off the inevitable here. That does involve running scam after scam after scam, and here comes Comicsgate with its own model, and we are pretty successful. If we can actually get up and moving off the ground and create a lot of individual publishing houses, that's a terrifying thing for the mainstream. Because of that, some really strange individuals have popped up on Twitter, and they spend, I don't know if they're hired by a PR firm or what, but this guy here, for example, SJW Spider-Man, his entire feed, just look at his feed. Notice my name in every single, look at this. You can just go on, and it's all, his entire, let's go fast. His entire feed is about me. It's about me. And he does this every single day, and I don't know what else he does, but this involves watching all of my videos and then trimming them and piecing them and taking some things out of context to present them to his hate army of weirdos who are cheered on by some of the people. It's disheartening. Some of the people kind of way high up in the comic book industry want this to happen. They need our argument to be countered through gaslighting, so that people don't listen to us and they can continue the grift for the next 5 or 6 years. In any case, look at this. He's one of the things that he's doing is advocating for, and I've reported him a couple of times that I think he's crossed the line. But one of the things that he does is he asks, he tries to deplatform us, Comicsgaters. He reports us to Twitter. He reports us to Indiegogo. They want to make it impossible for us to actually continue to sell comic books. Because us selling comic books kind of shows them up. But in any case, here's an example. I don't know if you watched this video. This was the video that I put out yesterday. Here I am defending blatant misogyny, he says. Star Wars is a boys' club, no girls allowed. Nothing threatens Ethan more than a strong woman. Well, if she's got a rolling pin, that's quite right. But for the most part, I do like strong women. Strong women are great, but the problem is the women that I'm pointing out here in this video are not strong women. They're toxic SJWs. All of this comes down to one thing. Comicsgate is our philosophy, our belief. In fact, everything that we've seen, I think it's reality at this point, and very few people can deny it, is that SJWs are ruining these hobbies. They're ruining these hobbies. Now, SJWs come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. SJWs can be female. SJWs can be male. Oh, it's so sad when they're male. It really is. But they can be. They can be white, black, whatever they are. They can be gay or straight. And it's the attitude, it's the belief system that's the problem, not the gender. Obviously, I love strong women. Well, one in particular. I love the one that's upstairs right now, and that's fine. What I don't like, and what I was criticizing in that video clip, not all womankind. For the most part, I think I probably like 90% of the women on the face of the earth. It's that 10% of women who make up the 8% of SJWs in society that I cannot stand, and this is what I don't like. Okay, here's the woman in question, the strong woman who needs my respect. Don't worry, she tweets. Kathleen Kennedy is working on a plan to permanently invalidate the opinions of all white men. That's the kind of thing that whether no matter what your politics are, if you are Kathleen Kennedy, if you are Lucasfilm, if you are Star Wars, if you're somebody who cares about the franchise, this is the kind of thing that needs to stop. It needs to stop. This kind of remark is not okay. This kind of attitude is toxic to the fandom. This is actual toxic fandom right here. And it doesn't matter. A woman could say this. A man could say this. Gay or straight, person of color or white. Anybody who said this would be toxic and would be a problem. Here's another thing. Female is not an appropriate word to describe a human woman. Stop. I can't even. I'm not even going to try to sort that out. I'm not even going to try to figure that out. That is between her and a doctor. I don't know what that even means, and by a psychotherapist might be able to work that out. So this is the thing. This is the situation that we find ourselves in right now. We find ourselves being confronted by crazy people, and those crazy people are gaslighting society while hobbies, things that used to be profitable, whole industries, are succumbing and collapsing to SJWs. And anyone who stands up to them is going to face some consequences. You're going to have to learn that if you do stand up to these people and take them to task and point them out, you are going to suffer consequences. And of course, I'm expecting that. It happens to me, and it's going to continue to happen to me. But I can't just sit idly by and let nonsense like this proliferate and continue to destroy previously prosperous industries that supported entire families. And as DC Comics fires 7 people who had been working there for 30-something years, doing great work, because the comic sales are in the toilet, in the gutter, as Lucasfilm finds itself $182 in the hole because of the content that they are offering to fans, which involves attitudes like this, and people like this receive plaudits, receive press passes, receive special treatment from Lucasfilm. As the consequences for this kind of behavior start to roll in, I don't know how you turn it back. Now, if nobody's going to stand up to these bullies and actually point out what's going on, I don't know. I don't know how you roll back the consequences of this kind of behavior. This person harassed Rebel Force Radio with her podcast until Rebel Force Radio was disinvited from Star Wars Celebration, and they fled social media. I've never seen bullying like that before. I've never seen it. So do I respect women? Of course I do. I love women. I absolutely love women, especially Comicsgate women. The greatest women, the strongest women in the universe. And do you know why there's strong women at Comicsgate? Because they have to put up with women like this. And that's what makes strength. Strength is a conviction. Strength is the ability to stand up and know what you believe in is right, and be able to identify stuff that isn't right, that is wrong, that is toxic, that's evil, and stand up to it with your back straight and say no. Absolutely not. And then suffer the consequences. Unfortunately, the world is full of evil and damaged people who spend their entire lives, causing trouble and mischief on the internet, like this fellow, SJW Spider-Man, taking on Comicsgate. You're doing a great job. See ya.
Hey, want to follow me on Twitter? Okay, cool. I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. Talk to you there. Join the fandom menace and execute your own Order 66 with our incredible line of t-shirts, Soylo, a Soy Wars story, Tico, a Soy Wars story, and our brand new smoking hot Soy Wars Plan 9. Make a statement today. This is the only trilogy you'll ever need. The link is below in the description. If you enjoyed this video and want to become part of this community, subscribe to this channel by clicking the Laughing Man face logo right on your screen. Ring the bell for notifications as well. You'll never miss a live chat. And stay tuned, another video by Comic Artist Pro Secrets is coming right up.